Oh boy, there's 14 games on. Welcome everybody. Pre-game show. We got stuff that we got to talk about. Injuries that have come absolutely out of the blue, and we'll see exactly how all of that looks. And I've just realized there's 14 games on, so the screen is going to look very, very busy. So I'm just going to adjust where I'm putting things over there. Welcome everybody to the show. You can see the chat box sitting there under my head. I don't do the one-liners on the bloody pre-game show, mate. I'll sit and write those for later on for the show, the recap show. But I'm here. I'm ready. We're going. You can see, well, I'll throw it up on the screen so you can see it. The lineups that we know, the starters' statuses that we know, what we don't know is up there as well. What did we just get news on? DeJounte Murray is in. Alex Caruso is in. Jason Tatum is in. Chris Duarte is in. Patrick Williams is in. I believe Zach LaVine is still probable, so that hasn't been confirmed. I'm just going to check that. We might have got news on that. No, we haven't yet got the official one on LaVine. LaVine is in. We just got that now. Keegan Murray is out. Wizards starting. Jones, Poole, Avdia, Kuzma, Gafford. Same lineup there. We've got the Magic starters. They are the same as usual. Black Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, and Goga Badadze. If you are going to ask questions about the status of people, have a look on the screen. The blue Q is questionable. The green in is in. The green P is probable. And that's all that's up on the screen. The Nuggets lineup is confirmed. Jackson, KCP, Porter, Gordon, Jokic. Not a surprise there. Welcome everybody to the show. Let's just catch up on what is happening. Bam Adebayo is out. PJ Washington is out. Aaron Nesmith is out. Andrew Nembhard is out. I don't know if you're going to be able to stream anybody in, but like Tom Bryant, although I would go with Orlando Robinson there in Miami, is a better option. What are we actually also still waiting for? Karis LeVert is questionable, but Dean Wade is doubtful. Dean Wade is doubtful. Hornets are starting Ball, Miller, Hayward, Bridges, Williams. Same starting lineup for them. Sasha Vezenkov is questionable. Scoot Henderson is questionable. And Brogdon's not on the injury report. I cannot believe that these dickheads are going to play Brogdon on a back-to-back. That is embarrassing. That's ridiculous. LeBron is officially questionable. Seth Curry is questionable for Dallas. Davis and Hood Schifino are probable for the Lakers. Yeah, it's going to be Tom Bryant. And yeah. It's going to be Tom Bryant and Orlando Robinson, I'm guessing. Chris Duarte is in. So even though we've got a bunch of injuries, there's not many that we're waiting to decide. What's that word? Decide on. LeVert, Scoot, LeBron. They're probably the only ones that majorly matter, I would guess. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hit thumbs up if you are here. Hit subscribe as well. Do I think Vassell will play normal minutes? I don't think so. No, I don't. How much to a boost do I think Melton gets in nightcap with that Embiid today? Honestly, he's not a huge usage guy, so he's not going to just take on this big role. Obviously, that's another one. Yeah, Embiid's out, so Paul Reed is going to be a great option today as well. Melton, he'll get a couple of extra shots, but he's not going to ramp up and be a 30 usage player, I wouldn't think. It's going to be Harris, it's going to be Maxey. They don't have many shot creators, though. Yeah, Reed's going to get some shots. It's just going to be a lot of Harris, a lot of Maxey. There'll be some Melton in there. But their team is light on in shot creators. Herb Jones or Aldama. Give me the guy who's probably got more chance of sticking long term, and that is Herb, I believe. Biyombo or Nas? I just take Biyombo. Definitely holding Mays. Hamstrings are nasty. The problem there is, yes, but we could have both Scoot and Brogdon playing, and that's going to put Mays completely out of play. So I would be interested in Mays if Brogdon was there, and it's iffy on a back-to-back, but because Scoot's there, I'm not as interested. You can drop Mays if you want. Do you need to drop him today? Is there someone worth picking up? But you can drop him, yes. Do I watch anime? Not really. Like, I started to watch Avatar. We've watched 10, 20 episodes of it, but not really. Marco says, best wishes from Italy. Thank you, Marco. I haven't been to Italy in ages. We need to go back. It's been so long, man. What's my favorite Michael Bolton song? When a Man Loves a Woman. Will Jarrett Allen play normal minutes tonight? It's hard to say because yesterday he played normal minutes, but it is a back-to-back, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go a little bit cautious on him. Someone asked about Paul Reed. Yeah, look, he's in a great spot. He's in a really good spot, obviously, with Embiid out. this is the perfect opportunity, if it wasn't 14 games on, to stream him in. What's Harden's ceiling rest of the season? His ceiling is top 15. His more likely outcome is top 24. How high do I think Mark Williams will get rest of the season? Seamus. What do you call me? The locksmith. That's a good nickname, but I don't know why it is. But hey, that's fine. Is it because my key can open many holes? Giggity. Where will Mark Williams get to rest of season? Look, he's got a shot at the top 50. I don't think he gets there, but I'd be fairly confident of top 75. I forgot Tatum questionable. I did not forget Tatum questionable because Tatum is not questionable. Tatum is playing. So there you go. We know that. You can see that on the screen as well. Is Bojan must roster? Yeah, sort of. He's not going to be like last season. He's okay. He's really like a pointed threes guy. So look, you probably do want to grab him, but who knows? Who's my favorite cricket player? Mine's Brian Lara. I don't know, man. Like if all time, well, it's not Brian Lara because I'm Australian and I don't like to see him score runs against us. Probably Glenn McGrath. Big Glenn McGrath guy. When I was young, it was Craig McDermott, but it's probably Glenn McGrath. Is Avatar really anime? I don't know. Is it? Maybe it's not. Is Caruso playing today? Caruso is in. The only statuses we don't know at the moment are Zeke Naji is probable. Karis LeVert is questionable. Dean Wade is doubtful. Sasha Vezenkov is questionable. Scoot Henderson is questionable. Seth Curry is questionable. LeBron James is questionable. Anthony Davis is probable. And Jalen Hood-Schifino is probable. They are the only statuses that we are unaware of at this point. We've got all of the early game lineups set. We're still waiting on other ones. The big one is going to be LeVert. Because if he is out, and Wade is out, and Mitchell is out, and Milk is out, and Rubio is out, then it's all about Craig Porter. All about it. And I've actually got Craig Porter. I added him in the league. And if LeVert is out, I will start him even though there's a million games on. I don't know which league I've got him in, but I've got him in one. And I will start him if those guys are out. But of course, I need to find that information out. Come on, tell me. Hit thumbs up if you are in and new. We got 666 viewers. That's not ominous at all. That's great. If I get 666 likes, that would be sick also. What else do we have going on over here? Glenn McGrath. Oh, what a legend he was. Have I ever seen a live NBA game? No, except for Summer League. I worked during the NBA season, doing this, and no, I haven't been to an NBA game ever. One day I'm going to head over and get to some playoff games. Who have I got between Mallow and Halley in real life and why? I think you've asked me this question a few times, Wancha, and the reason I haven't answered it is I see it, and I get a million things thrown at me every day, is I don't care. And I know that sounds rude. I'm not trying for that to be rude to you, but I don't care. Like, what's the point of that sort of debate? Like, what's it matter? Who do I, like, right now, it's probably Halliburton, but the difference between these guys is, like, what are we arguing? What's the purpose of this? I don't really understand. Why is it? Halliburton is, I don't know. He just seems to be a guy with a slightly better feel. They're both bad defensively. They're both very good passers. But Halliburton just seems to find guys in better spots all the time. They're both really good shooters. Look, the difference is so infinitesimally small that I don't think it's worth getting worked up about it or even discussing it for 5 seconds, even though I just discussed it for a minute. Is Garland a top 30 rest of the season? I don't think so. What are my thoughts on Scoot's development? He will do it. He will develop. Ask me more a specific question. Harvey Milk is in the NBA? Yeah, he's a zombie. Zombie Harvey Milk. Tilly in 12 points? What's Tilly? Tillman maybe? I don't know. Is Santi Aldama a start today over Conley or Kobe White? I would start him over White. Probably not over Conley. Have I heard anything extra on Levine? No. How likely is it to be traded? I would say very likely, honestly. But who knows where or when. What are my thoughts on Mikal Bridges' slow start? Yeah, I sort of expected it, honestly. Like, this is not far off what I predicted him for. That's why I was poo-pooing the idea of him being a borderline first-round player or a second-round player or the 15th best player. I was having him at the end of the 20s and in the mid-30s. And so how far is he off what I was thinking? Not really that much. Let's go into news and check what is going on over there. Levine is out. All right, so didn't they just say he was in? the hell just happened? Trey Lyles is back to make his debut. I swear I saw this thing that Levine was in. Let me double check this. And now he's out. Where did I see this? Maybe I am lying. I have been known to do that. Zach LaVine will play tonight, Billy Donovan says. 10 minutes ago. And now he's out. Why? What happened? I don't see where the news is on that. Let me go find this Levine thing. Because I know I can see it, but I need to actually see what is going on, because that is conflicting reports. Now, the conflicting report was from a Thunderbeat reporter, so just bear that in mind as well. You've got to always look at where the news comes from. These are aggregators. Where is the real news? Darnell Mabry. Okay, that's real. Darnell Mabry is out. Why did he say out and then Brett Dawson said in? Bulls PR said Levine is not a go. What the fuck is going on? All right, so that's confusing. There you go. There's a nice little... when something like this is on, when there's 14 games on, there's going to be some of the weirdest shit that goes on. And we're seeing it already. So, yeah, not good. I'm just going to put that through. I know that Kyle's trying to find the Levine news. I'm just putting that across. All right. Let's go back to the chat, see how you guys are going in here. Am I encouraged that Poole was able to jack up 26 shots last game? Oh, I don't think that 26 shots is great for him, but it's better than him playing at lower usage than he was in Golden State, which never made any sense. There's going to be some sort of balance, hopefully. Josh, if Levert sits, do I start one of these? Unknown player, Craig Porter, Keontae George, Kobe White. Honestly, with everybody out, I would start... that's tough. I would start Craig Porter, I think. Do I think Reeves comes off the bench rest of the season? Yes, unless D'Lo is hurt or traded. If Levine gets traded, Kobe White would be the main beneficiary. Who knows, though? Like, maybe they get other players back in a similar role. Theoretically, sure, but not necessarily. Yeah, Underdog did tweet about Levine, but what I was trying to find is where they got the news from, right? So they did tweet about him, but they got the news from somewhere, and it was Darnell Mabry who tweeted it, and someone called Annie, who I've never seen cover the Bulls, but she said she got it from Bulls PR, so that's where it came from. How do I look at -1 rankings? It's on basketballmonster.com, and if you asking that and didn't know about Basketball Monster, that's the answer. But if you are on Basketball Monster, you go onto the projections or the rankings page. There's a button that says Edit Display Columns. You click that, and then there's a -1 rankings, and you click that, and then it turns it on. Start Kyle Anderson over Jalen Green. I think I probably would, yeah. Men Thompson maybe next week, but we don't care about that for most. Start Melton over Kobe. Yeah, well, that's interesting, actually, because didn't think about that, because Levine's out. So, Kobe White over Melton. That's really debatable, that one. That's debatable. I probably do actually... but Embiid's out too. Honestly, Kokis, I couldn't tell you exactly. I think that's just a toss-up. I don't think you're going to be wrong. Either way. Vassell will be on minutes restriction tonight. Probably, yeah. If there's a player on your waiver wire who's better than your worst player, but Basketball Monster projection shows that he hurts your team, would you pick him up? This is Roto, and do I drop quickly for Draymond? That's a good question, right? So you're in Roto, but do you even use quickly? Is he even in your best 10 guys? That is a tough one, right? I think in a Roto league, I'd rather go with the guy that's helping my team more because Roto's a season-long average and accumulation thing versus head-to-head where we're trying to get specific strengths in. So I probably would just stick with the guy that actually helps your projections. A lot of revenge games today. What are my thoughts on Cam Reddish? I believe he plays for the Lakers, used to play for Duke in college, started with the Hawks and was traded to the Knicks and then went to the Blazers. So there you go. Play Reed today? Yeah, I think you have to. If you're ever going to play him, it's today. I don't know when else it would be. But look, that would depend on what your other options are. Start Tyus or Cavs unknown player in a 14 team? Look, I think you just got to go with Tyus here. We don't even know if LeVert's playing or what Porter's role is going to be. Am I going to put Jimmy Himmy, which is a shitful nickname, Model X, I apologize. I'm going to put him under the lens. With the under the lens thing, what I do is I just look at who the player is that's had the biggest jump in the last 7 days or the biggest drop in the last 7 days, just to understand what actually happened. Was this guy flying? Why is he stinking? That's how we do it. So Jimmy will probably get a crack under there at some point, but we'll see. All-time starting 5-team, go. Absolutely not. Did you miss me talking about Siakam? No. Why would I specifically talk about Siakam? Is it because he's on the thumbnail? I just put a player who was playing today. I don't have anything specific to say about Siakam unless something has happened and I've missed it. What are you going to say about Siakam? It's frustrating. His usage goes back and forward every game, and I think we've got to settle into that being what happens. Scoot, top 70 potential versus Brandon Miller, top 20. I think that's a good way of looking at it. I drafted Miller, held Scoot. Now Miller on waivers. I may drop Mays and grab Miller. Who's Miller's top competition? Well, it's Rozier, it's Hayward, it's Washington, it's Bridges. It's a lot of guys. That's the problem. Scoot's top competition is nobody. That's the difference. Activate Scooter tonight. I would think, Timmy, that you have other options that you don't need to do that. And if you are saying because he's in IR, you want to take him out, that means you need to drop someone. And here's the way I would approach this. You have got nearly every team playing in the NBA. Amazingly, in one of my leagues, I actually have an open active spot today because I've got like 3 Knicks guys on the bench and they don't play. Side point. But this is just an overall process sort of question about Scooter. So while we go, yeah, it's great, he's back, let's activate him. That would mean you would need to drop someone. But is the benefit of having Scoot, would you even start him today? And the answer to that is maybe. But what's the difference between him and the other guy you would start? The reason I would keep Scoot in IL or IR for today is the following. Is that if you activate him, you have to drop somebody. This is assuming, of course, you don't have another injured guy that you do a straight swap. In that case, who cares? Just switch him over. Don't worry about it. But if activating Scoot means you'd have to drop somebody, what you would do is you keep Scoot in IR today because there's 14 games on. There are 28 teams playing. There is a chance one of your players gets some sort of injury or gets an injury tag today, and then you can switch them tomorrow. So you don't actually have to drop somebody, and you can make that switch and get Scoot ready for the next game. Because you're not missing, who have you got in your active lineup that Scoot in his first game back, if he even plays, is going to be better than? The answer is probably no one. So to answer your question, no, don't activate him for all of those reasons. And I hope all of that makes sense. Is Toumani Camara an NBA starter on a real team at some point in his career? I will say no, but look at Torrey Craig, right? That is what I think Camara probably ends up, but a better passing version, which means that sometimes he can start on a real team, but overall, every time you look at it, you're like, probably need to upgrade that spot. And that's where I think you're at with Camara. So could he be a starting player on a team that makes a second round of the playoffs? 100%. Right, absolutely. I think he's good enough to do that and be a nice connector who can pass a bit and defend and all that sort of stuff. But when that happens, the team would be looking at, man, we just need to upgrade the Camara spot. That is how I think that would go. Now, development can be wild and can be all over the place, and he might turn into an unbelievable stud. Possible. Unlikely, but possible. So there you go. Long answer for a short question. Is Biyombo must roster? Guys, Leonardo, I'm not going to answer this because how can I possibly know your context? Please give context. Is Bron playing tonight? Sard, look at the screen. Big blue Q next to LeBron's name. That means he is currently questionable. We do not know if LeBron is playing. I would suggest he isn't, but it's like a 51-49 because he only played 24 minutes yesterday. Green or Beasley to start? Yeah, I'll just take Jalen Green. I think he's a better player. Barely. Buy low candidates, Scotty Barnes or Paulo Banchero. I don't really know how that's possible. How would you be buying low on Scotty Barnes, who's very much exceeded expectations, or Paulo, who's actually playing really well at the moment? I'm not really sure how that works. Okay. What do you think of Bruce Brown? He's been underwhelming considering last year. I'd say he's been better than last year, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know what expectations you had to this season of Brown. If you're in a shallow league or a 12-team points league, then yes, you don't roster him. If you are in a 12-team category league, which you are, he's fine. He's okay. Is there any top 80 upside? No, there's not. So if he's your worst player and you want to utilize that spot for streaming, then yeah, drop him. If he's your 10th best player, 11th best player, then keep him because he's producing enough. Drop Jalen Green. Geordie, put some fucking context, mate. Sure. Drop LeBron while you're at it. I don't know what any of that means. Karras is playing. Dean Wade is out. Reduces the value of Craig Porter, but Levert might just start at the 3, and Porter might get those 25 minutes still. So I probably wouldn't start him in most cases, but there is a little bit of interest there with him. How long until Case and Wallace's play forces the Thunder to move on from Giddey? Well, I don't think you ever need to force it, right? They're playing together. They've got no problem benching Giddey or playing him limited minutes. It's all about whether they explore it to upgrade in other positions, which they could. I think what ends up happening is what they would love to do at some point is maybe they do move on from Giddey to get someone who's a replacement as a power forward and enables them to go Kasan, Shea, Jalen Williams, ex-player. Oh, Craig Porter starting. Let's go. Yes. All right. I'm in. Porter, I'm in. Let's go. Start him. I'm in. He's starting. I'm all in on it. Yeah. Shea, Wallace, Jalen Williams, unknown player, not Craig Porter, a player that they're going to get in a trade, and Chet. That would be their 5. Dort out of the lineup, Giddey traded. That would be my guess. Garland, Strus, Craig Porter Jr., unknown player, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. Let's actually go. Whew. Why does Curry have low assist numbers? Because he's playing with Chris Paul. Ditto for a couple other high-ranking players. Well, I don't know who those players are, so I can't give you specific answers on that. Why is it worth keeping 75 to 125 guys with no upside on your roster over streamers, upside stashes? 75 is half of your roster. In a 12-team league, there's 156 blokes get rostered. Anyone who's outside that, you can't just stream 8 spots on your team or 7 spots on your team. You can't do that. So if someone gives you consistent top 100 value, that's actually really useful. And most leagues have an acquisition limit for the week. So you can't be like, well, my 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th best player are all droppable and streamable, because you're never going to have that ability each week. So yeah, it's great to be able to stream these guys in, and you do get more value by getting 5 games out of a stream spot, but that's 1 spot. It's not 5 spots. Unless your league is wild and you just can do whatever the fuck you want with ads and all that sort of shit. I'm just going to drop that Levert one in here because Kyle's having some internet problems. So they're keeping Levert on the bench. Oh, the Levine one, man. What did they say about Levine here? Dealing with foot soreness for a few days. Oh, I'm sure. Sure, sounds like a really big foot problem. I'm not saying that he's getting traded. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I picked up Jar off the waiver wire in a points league. Is it worth trading him for Levine and Mobley? In a points league, Jar's a top 15 player. We've got about 10 games to go until he's back. For Levine and Mobley, that's a pretty sizable haul. Morant is the best player out of that group in points leagues without any question. I would look, Peter, have a look at what Jar averaged last season in points leagues. Have a look at Levine and Mobley this season. Work out the averages. Also understand that if you do make that trade, you need to drop someone. So who's your worst player? Put those numbers together and figure it out. Wiggins or Brandon Miller in points tonight? Well, with Washington and Rozier out, I actually do lean Miller. Still start Levert? Yeah, I would. Yeah, he's been playing 30 minutes off the bench anyway. You and Mitch, lads in real life. I've never met Mitch. Mitch lives in a completely different part of the country. I've never met him. He lives way up north. I live way down south. We've never met each other. Obviously we talk and do podcasts together, and we've spoken outside of that, and we DM and all that sort of stuff. Never met the bloke. Yes, Craig Porter is on ESPN, correct. Well done to ESPN for adding a player 3 months after they were signed to a contract. Do I like Santi or Melton? I like Melton more than Aldama. That's long term. Should you start Giddy or Porter? I think I'd probably still lean Giddy, but it's on a day like this, it's really tough, man. Drop Dyson Daniels for Craig Porter, mainly for today, as we expect Dyson to lose minutes with Jose back and CJ nearing return. But is Porter going to maintain any long-term value? Is Porter definitely going to be better than Daniels today? He probably is. To me, that's one that I don't think matters either way. It's a guess, right? All of this is a guess, if we're fair. Where do I have Beal rest of season projections? You can go check that out at basketballmonster.com. I don't know. He's like 60th, but who knows? I just don't... That's per game. I don't know where he's coming in with the injury. I don't know when he's coming back. Have I seen the news on Amen? Yes, back next week. Mentioned that already, Model X. You must have tuned out for that 5 seconds. Shit, we've only got 3 seconds to go. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. Celtics, Holiday, White, Brown, Tatum, Porzingis. Same lineup from them. I still don't have an update on Zeke Naji. I'm just going to check something. Do we have anything on Zeke Naji? Surely I have something somewhere. Yeah, he's active. All right, I'm gonna mark him active. So Zeke Naji is listed active. I'm going to mark him active, even though he's still officially probable. I'll get ready to set that up. But hit thumbs up if you guys are here. That would be sick if you could help me out there. What are my thoughts on Hawthorn's pick 5 in the draft? Nick, I'm glad you brought that up because Nick Watson is who I wanted the Bulldogs to take at pick 6. I'm pretty happy with getting Sanders, but Watson was the guy that I wanted, and then Hawthorn slid in at 5 and took him, which annoyed me. So there you go. All right. Hit thumbs up. Great way to support the show. Check out the show. I already did say the waiver wire, and then there's an absolute ball-bursting big boy 14-game recap coming today. I heard Kevin Porter Jr. is coming back. Would I add? No. Where did you hear this? Legion Hoops, NBA Central. I've heard nothing, and I follow this shit 24/7. Yeah, absolutely not. Where did you hear this? Again, just, done. Şengün All-Star this season. Haven't looked at it, but he'd have to be close. Gafford a stream spot. Would you drop Gafford in a points league? I would, yeah. I think dropping him in a points league is totally reasonable for a stream spot. He's not that good in a points league, so that's totally fine. We are out of here. I've got to get over to Basketball Monster and get what I need to get cracking over there because obviously there's a lot of work to do. Have I got Bulldogs players following you? Yes, I do. Some of them don't play for the Bulldogs anymore, but there's quite a few AFL players that follow me on this show and message me fantasy basketball. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but there is a few of them. I'd say there's at least, that I know of, there's probably about at least 15 to 20 AFL players who follow me or are a part or watch this show or listen to this show, plus sports people from other competitions as well. Tennis players, rugby players, soccer players. It's interesting. Sports players love playing fantasy. Anyway, we're out of here. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for being a part of the show, everyone. See ya.